Welcome to Auto Marketing Now. On today's show, we have Len Short. He's the co-founder of LotLinx, and we're going to be talking about their new LotLinx Turn marketing platform. Of course, we're going to have our popular email grab bag, so what are we waiting for? Let's get started with today's show.
You're watching Auto Marketing Now. Today's show is brought to you by CDK Global, evolving the automotive retail experience.
I'm excited to welcome to today's show Len Short. He's the co-founder of LotLinx. Len, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me here.
So, LotLinx has been a great partner with PCG over the years. I've been following everything that the company's been doing. For dealers who, don't know too much about LotLinx, what's the elevator pitch? What would you tell them today LotLinx is solving in the automotive community?
It's not different than how I first met you. I got a phone call from you out of the blue. I didn't know really who you were. I'd heard the name and the legend, but you're like, I'm looking at this results report. Right. What the hell is LotLinx?
Right. I saw that in Lithia. Yeah. I was looking at Toyota of Abilene's Google Analytics, and I said, what is this?
Yeah. Listen, the only thing that matters is results. And that for a dealer is what's moving my inventory. The problem in digital is they don't know what's moving their inventory. Right? They've been managing to, a lot of curious metrics, and what we've been on is a journey to win for the dealer that win-lose moment that's happening online.
That's
when
right.
A consumer gets down to, I know what I'm going to buy, where am I going to buy it?
That's right.
And dealers will tell you they come down here knowing more about their inventory than the dealer does, right? You got a white one. The dealer's like, I got to look at a list.
Yeah, that's right. Oh no, they've been on the dealer's inventory. Len, I travel around the country. We've been talking about engagement tracking. We've been talking about the blind metrics that dealers have. Tell me if you have experienced this as well. I talk to dealers. They show me their budget. They're spending a lot of money online. They're not really sure what's actually influencing the sale.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, we brought in a guy by the name of David Salinas, who I know you got to know. A brilliant guy who was part of the original team at Urchin. Now you say, what's Urchin? Well, you've probably heard of a UTM code. That means Urchin Tag Manager.
Wow.
It's a little company.
Little trivia today.
Little trivia. It's a company that Google bought that became Google Analytics, and David went with Urchin to Google and then ran their platform there. We brought him in to build a way of identifying the behaviors, the actions that were happening as a result of our traffic and all traffic on a dealer's site, and then correlate those with what was actually driving turn for cars.
That's right.
And so 2 years ago, we developed and tested a broad set of both engagement actions and conversion actions. Google calls them goal conversions, right? Everything. There's a lot of debate about this, right? What should I track?
That's right. What's important?
What's important? Maps and directions, so on and so forth. Well, we self-tested everything and found that there were 7 key goal conversions that indicated that online buyer was ready to move to the lot and make a purchase. And those were click to call, click to chat, click and fill out a lead form, payment calculator, trade-in calculator, and incentive or coupon. Now, other things are good indicators, but those were really the predictive actions.
And Len, your initial work in setting up standard goals in Google Analytics for your clients really inspired me when Lithia challenged me to figure out, what's a comprehensive way to look at our digital spend across all different platforms and all different agencies. And we started to work with David Salinas, and he helped us build the Tag Manager containers for things like, did they look at photos? Did they scroll down the page? Did they click on the buttons? And Len, what I think most dealers don't understand is that when you track the engagement and optimize the engagement to turn the inventory, magic really starts to happen.
It's a data world, right? And there's profit in data if you leverage it smartly.
That's right.
And essentially what we're doing, we built these both conversion scores and engagement scores. There's a very complex algorithm of weighting those scores to optimize. And we track that down to the model and build level by location. And we use that real-time data then to select the ad presentations that we make on behalf of the dealer, because a lot of dealers throw a lot of money into the marketplace, targeting an audience or impressions or impression share.
But you're really marketing that vehicle.
Yeah. So what we're doing, we're not targeting the 10,000 people in the market for
Right.
Silverados. We're looking at this Silverado and say, hey, it needs 4 conversions to sell.
That's right.
That's what it needs. 4 real click to call, click to chat. That's the goal. How are we going to build a campaign for that Silverado? Not just a campaign for the dealership lot, but for that Silverado.
That's right.
And then present that car to in-market, qualified, declared shoppers in the highest engagement moments that we can find them in. So we only need 4 conversions. That may come from 20 visits, right? We're not targeting 10,000 people. We are managing that conversion goal for the dealer at the lowest possible cost, highest return.
And Len, one of the things that I want to be very clear about, dealers have heard this mumbo jumbo before, meaning we have machine learning, we have Harvard, and Princeton engineers, we have space engineers, who knows?
Right.
And we've even integrated the migration patterns of Canadian geese. No, but it sounds like this, and then at the end of the day, the dealers roll in new ad tech and they don't sell any more cars, meaning their inventory doesn't turn faster. What I'm so excited about working with you this past year on measuring engagement is that this is a self-learning engine that dealers can understand.
Right.
If we're buying terms, if we're presenting ads into the marketplace and we're seeing consumers engage with the photos and engage with conversion actions, that optimization is so critical, and the entire ad platform now is using these engagement and conversion metrics to really become the best ad tech for dealers.
The key thing was correlating those actions with sale, and as you know, and it's probably too much to get into here,
That's
but the
right.
work that we've done on taking the 24 cars that arrive in a couple of carriers, right? All Silverados, right? Sit under the same sunlight and rain, get all the same OEM, Tier 2, and dealer support equally, but some of them turn on a nice amount of days, right? And close to the day's supply, and some of them languish on the lot. And the difference is the engagements that those cars are getting.
And Len, one thing that I love about the product is that dealers can, using your VinView optimizer, look at their inventory across all of their existing marketing channels. So third-party classifieds, AdWords, Facebook, social, SEO, direct, and see which cars don't have enough engagement. And they can select those cars, and your technology will create ad campaigns for the cars that need the most help. That is just so common sense. Before the internet, if cars were slow moving, they moved them to the front of the lot, they ballooned them up, and they made them pretty, and those cars sold faster because they got more attention.
I meet a lot of second generation dealers who've built great businesses, right? And we talk about their dad. Right, their dad would sit down and do VinView optimizing with his newspaper rep every Wednesday. Right. He had a very complicated algorithm in his head about what car he needed to feature behind the 10 he had on his lot, which used cars he had to sort of change price on and promote. That was the craft, and still is the craft of this business. But then along came digital, and it all got complicated.
That's right.
And so when we show a dealer VinView Optimizer, it literally is an aha moment, because all of a sudden they're back to the way they think about their business, which is based on inventory, and they connect the digital actions, all of them, omnichannel. We have no bias, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and they can start to make good decisions about, listen, where do I want to point my money? And how is that going to make a difference in my business? Because we see a lot of what I call trickle-down marketing happening here. They throw a lot of money in the marketplace, and it tends to collect around a couple of
you're
popular
right.
cars.
That's right. And let's take a look at the screen right now. This is a shot of the VinView Optimizer. On the left-hand side, you'll see a group of cars with a lot of engagement, and then over here on the right side, there's a whole section that don't have enough engagement. Len, this is showing all their investments from third-party classified, Car Gurus, SEO, AdWords, social, everything. This is the tool that says, Mr. Dealer, of your 400 cars on lot, these are the views your vehicles are getting online and offline. Len, I was shocked when you told me that anybody watching today's show, you'll install the VVO tool for free, just to open their eyes, but give them the picture that, guys, we now have the tools to market based on engagement.
So now they'll
reviews.
know what's going on in their lot.
Exactly.
Listen, what dealers will say is, what do you spend on classifieds? They'll say, well, I spend $12,000 a month, right? Well, what do you spend on SEM? $6,000, right? Then you show them the InView Optimizer, and it's actually not $12,000 a month. It's $4,000 on these 8 cars. Right. That's really the aha moment for them. Is wait a second, it's you kind
it's
of
not even.
They assume, well, 12,000, all the cars are getting equal love,
That's
just
right.
like my children. No, it doesn't work that way.
That's
the key thing. You start to see their SEM budgets collect and basically buy a landslide on a car that's going to sell anyway.
That's
and
right.
they're paying $15 a VDP view, over and over and over again on a car that just doesn't need it, while the rest is going ignored.
Yeah. So Len, the beautiful thing that you're coming out with at NADA and, well, really changing the conversation this year is LotLinx Turn, your digital marketing platform, which takes all of this conversion engagement data and allows dealers to implement campaigns across the LotLinx network, Facebook, Google AdWords, one tool that allows them to identify the cars that need the most help, omni-channel presentation of advertising, optimized on engagement. I think this is the tool that dealers have been asking for a number of years.
It's a very powerful thing. What we recognize in the marketplace is if you look at where the money is spent and where it's flowing, it's flowing to the places where dealers and their agencies have a platform available to them. So first it was Google AdWords.
Right.
So there's a platform. So, okay, this is how I can manage my budget. So I pour all my money into
That's
Google
right.
AdWords.
It's smart.
And then, along came Facebook, and a lot of big move into that, right?
Yep.
But what the industry was missing was a omnichannel programmatic platform across all of those channels that managed to inventory. So this is a tool for our agency partners, and as you know, we
That's
have
right.
The best and the
And
brightest in the business.
PCG is using this tool.
PCG has been a great partner in this, and frankly, for our sophisticated dealers, somebody told me on my staff that 10% of our dealers are building their own campaigns, self-serve on this. I mean, they've been with us a long time. They understand our platform, exactly how to leverage it. So now when they get their regional rep comes in with 25 incentive inventory cars, right? They take those cars, build a campaign, put $20, $30 per car, and I had one dealer say, I went from selling one to selling all but one.
Yeah.
Right? And this is big money to them. So
that's right. And Len, I want to touch on that very important thing for used car managers, new car managers watching today's show. With InView Optimizer, they see their whole inventory. Yep. They can see which cars need help. Yep. Right? All children on the lot are not getting the same attention.
Right.
And with a few clicks, advertise those cars on Facebook, advertise those cars with dynamic retargeting, inventory-specific ads. They can advertise them on AdWords, set a budget. We're talking about minutes.
Yep.
But instead of the mumbo jumbo about, behavioral targeting and geo-targeting, they can just say, these cars are underserved, I need to fix that.
You know what works for us, Brian, is because when you put it in those terms, hey, where are your problems? And you get down to a short list of cars.
That's right.
And by the way, there's no minimum here. If they want to build a campaign for one car and spend $30, click, they do it.
That's right.
That's, so... But when you get down to, okay, these were my problem cars going into the month, and they look at the end of the month about what sold and what got the attention, that's what drives our business, because it's here's my problem, I ran your campaign, and here's my solution.
That's right. And this happens with stair steps. Yeah. Sometimes manufacturers do stair steps. New car manager can just isolate those campaigns that need to hit that stair step number, and boom, they launch it.
That's exactly how this runs. So we have sophisticated dealers who set up campaign rules as the cars move on the lot. There's one campaign, there's an overlay as it gets to day 15. We look at the pace of engagement, so we know what pace a Silverado should be getting in Northern California. Right. That can trigger a little bit of extra budget to kind of pick up the pace on a car, because it costs the dealer $26 a day to house a car. Cost starts to eat into the margin.
That's right, and that's that floor planning number that no one wants to talk about. Len, there's a lot of solutions out there from agencies, and obviously we don't want to confuse the marketplace with yet another platform. But here's one thing I think dealers need to understand. All of the traffic that LotLinx generates is triggering engagement metrics in analytics. It's an open book.
Yep.
Meaning that PCG and LotLinx have worked together to define the industry's first set of open dictionary engagement events on a dealer site. Yep. You are bringing high quality traffic. You're using all that data to optimize. This has to be good news for dealers watching the show because it's something they can understand. Meaning, if the ad campaigns are driving more people to their VDPs to look at photos and play videos and click on buttons, they want more of that stuff.
Right.
They don't want more traffic. Len, how do you see this coming year for LotLinx turn? What's your vision? What's the educational challenge that you need to really communicate to dealers watching shows that this is just not another ad tech platform?
This whole thing, as you well know, is one of those things where when you point out the problem, it just makes sense to dealers. It's not hard to understand or reconcile with what they know drives their business.
That's
it
right.
makes sense to them. What people haven't done is given them that very transparent, simple solution. So, we'll be working, throughout the year in a series of events, some of them in partnership with you, to help educate dealers about this, make it very easy for them. I tell you, the most powerful thing they can do is install VinView Optimizer. I'll, based on this show,
right.
I'll happily get my team to do it for any dealer. They never have to do business with us. They'll have this powerful tool. They can start to make decisions. You know that our tracking platform is really Google Analytics. And
yes.
the beauty of that is that a dealer is looking at a third-party, trusted solution.
That's right.
And when we say, well, look what we did, it's right next to what everybody else did. So
exactly.
It's not in isolation.
Yes.
It's like, okay, here's the conversion rate and here's all the rest of your campaigns, good or bad. But I don't need a dealer. I don't want a dealer to spend money with me. I want him to spend his best money with me, right?
That's
and if
right.
there's a better choice, he should optimize to
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
Len, you mentioned briefly the upcoming automotive engagement conferences, 7-city tour. We provided a link here in the video for dealers who want to attend one of these 7 kickoff events focused on education. If dealers want to learn more about LotLinx Turn, where do they go?
They can go to this web page and
Okay.
and enroll there. They'll get all the information. It's a fantastic event. If you've ever been to one of Brian's events, you'll know. He's a master, and so he'll be the headliner here. Some of our very good people. It is. I think they'll get a lot out of this, including a free copy of your new book.
That's right, Swimming with Digital Sharks. So we're excited. Everyone who comes to the AEC tour will get Swimming with Digital Sharks. They're getting Selling Cars in the Digital Age. They're going to get our Google Analytics course and the Digital Marketing Managers course. Why? Because, Len, you and I are united one thing. Right. When dealers have the right data, they know how to make decisions. They're business people. They just never had the tools to measure quality and engagement to optimize conversion. LotLinx Turn is doing that. I'm so excited to track the results this year, have you back on the show, and just talk about some of these success stories, because we are changing the conversation in the automotive industry. We're moving from quantity metrics to quality metrics, and LotLinx Turn is really leading the charge.
Well, thank you, sir. Great
Thanks
to be
so
here.
much. And now for today's email grab bag question. A used car manager wrote in to ask, Brian, if I want to increase engagement on my VDPs, do you have any best practices to share? Well, the great news about the PCG engagement project is that we're tracking everything that goes on the VDP. Some dealers that have websites that have very complicated VDPs will be surprised to see that they have a number of elements on their website that, well, consumers are never clicking on. And I think that reducing the clutter on your VDPs is a great first step, meaning let's tag everything on the VDPs, which we do in the engagement project, and then see which, well, merchandising tools or things that people are just not clicking on. Get rid of them. Simplify things, because especially on a mobile device, you don't want too many things that are slowing down your mobile load time on your valuable SRPs and VDPs. So number one, assess what consumers are using. Number two, photographs are so important, and consider tools like SpinCar that can, well, bring to life the photos and imagery on your vehicles. I recently visited Carvana's website, and I thought, like, wow, the VDP, well, the center of attention was all about the car and the photos, And of course, using some type of a 3D spin and zoom in technology, well, they've been pretty successful in the marketplace so far. They're getting a pretty good buzz. Maybe they're onto something. The days of just static slideshows really could be coming to an end as new tech allows consumers to really, well, have a virtual experience with your vehicles. So if you've never upgraded your photo technology, you may want to do a test. Here's the great news. With the PCG Engagement Project, you can tag the new VDP design to see if you're getting more engagements per session. Do you understand how important that is? Meaning, if you can get consumers to engage more in your vehicle photos, well, you're going to sell more cars because, well, that means your targeting is correct, the presentation is correct, and, well, as long as the cars are priced properly, you should see more engagement in the showroom as well. One last thing. Make sure that your VDPs look awesome on a mobile phone. I know a lot has been said about this, but please give your phone to some teenagers, some millennials, and let them give you feedback about your VDPs. I'm sorry to say that here in 2017, I still visit dealers' websites where things are clipped and cut off. I just inspected a website platform that's using market pricing and comparison tools where 20% of the tool was cut off on my iPhone. If you want to sell more cars in a digital age, if you want your used car inventory to turn faster, you better make sure that your cars look awesome on a smartphone. I hope those 3 tips helped you. And if you have a question you'd like to use on the show, and I use it on the air, I'll send you a free copy of my latest book, Mastering Automotive Digital Marketing, the 2017 edition, which is the only textbook for the automotive industry on marketing, and it's being used at Northwood to train the next generation of automotive leaders. Thank you so much for watching today's show, and I'll see you next week on Auto Marketing Now.